Hey guys, SeanB, and today we are talking about Guild Battle and Guild Siege defense. These are the units that I see very often on defense from like G1 to G3. This is not a tier list. This is not S, A, or B, or C. These are category I think they belong, and we're gonna talk about their synergy, what you can do and what kind of mix and matching you can do with your own box. I've never done something like this before. If you want some more discussion video like these instead of just pure gameplay, in my opinion, most guild battle defense will have one sort of aggressive turn 1 snipe or control or damage comp, and then you have another sort of bruiser-ish comp that rely on HP stats, reviving, healing, and overall violent procs to just overwhelm you, because we all know that on defense everything has like a billion chance to proc violent. So starting off with Commune, Seara, I think being the two most popular guild battle leader skill for defense. You have Commune, Bastet, Odin. Purposely did that so that you can see it very easily as a team. And then you see Seara Loren, Perna. These two are like cookie cutter team that a lot of people are using. They try to take turn 1 and immediately nullify one unit, with Odin being able to ignore defense or Loren strip defense break into a bomb and Perna to follow up. For the Galleon Clara team, you see Yin, but honestly there are many win options available to be the damage dealer. You also see Chiwu rising in popularity in defense. He has been quite consistent to be there with like Retash and Varan in the past. But now with the rise of Savannah, you see Chiwu Savannah quite a fair bit, and also a water threat. And Chiwu being on Swift is some sort of speed leader and also turn 1 advantage unit. I don't know if I'm naming these correctly, I just named them out of the blue. Turn 1 advantage. But from the look of the first 4 groups, you can see that if you are not using LD Nat 5, you are using 3 different elements. Most of the time you don't see a guild battle with only one element and succeed, except for Artemiel defense, but we talk about that later. So variety of element, turn 1 snipe or control are very popular for one of the guild defense. And then you see some more premium speed lead like Nephthys and Triton that you probably can never outspeed, and if they work, you're in a very bad spot. So Nephthys, Triton, and Perna are very popular. Orion and Susano was popular, but now everybody know how to counter it. In the lower rank, it might still work because you don't have a lot of counter, or you only have one Galleon Real Shield Cleave, and after you use it, you're kind of out of juice. And Susano, Orion, Garo is still something tough to deal with. You have Sylvia being one of the best speed leader for guild battle, but I put these two LD Nat 5 lower because they're not as popular, right? Nobody has them. Except for G3 Guild Battle, you see these two a lot. So you have Sylvia, Theomas, and a wind unit, like a Reviver. It's more like a bruiser comp, but because this is so fast, you can actually run some sort of Sylvia, turn 1 snipe unit as well. For the last slot, I put in Gemini. Used to be very popular with Ganymede and some sort of AoE control or damage. So Gemini, Gany, and yeah, a Virat, a Belenus, a Perna, something to kill you. So if this defense doesn't go first, it's not good. That's why it's a speed lead, turn 1 advantage kind of team. Strip you, reset your attack bar, and then you're dead. But not as popular anymore because a simple Leo can just destroy any Gemini out there, or just overall tanky team with Will Shield can, for the large part, protect yourself against Gemini strip. So it's not as effective and not a lot of people are using it, but I think for the lower rank and siege, it might still be usable. For the turn 1 advantage unit, we're talking about either attack by booster, AoE stun, attack by controller, like these two, attack by booster, AoE strip once again, and then attack by booster here. So for the damage dealer, you see these are the more popular option. With the first few units, you see almost every day. Odin, Perna, Theomas, they are very similar to each other. They do a lot of damage. They are quite unpredictable with violent runes, and they can't die so easily. You're now seeing Daphnis together with Seara, Bastet, Daphnis are very popular because that is a turn 1 team that kill your wind unit and Seara can kill your water unit. But pretty counterable if you only have to fight it once or twice. When you fight this thing in siege, a couple towers full of Seara, Bastet, Daphnis, it might be troublesome. And then you have these crazy fast and hard-hitting violent Daphnis. Crazy. Marsha is also rising in popularity because Seara, Loren, Perna is quite manageable because Perna are usually not that fast. And then you have a thing like Marsha that can also defense break and just have 5 billion speed after like a couple turns. Is very scary. The free-to-play option for the Seara Loren will be Raok for the last slot. So you have Raok on Swift. It's quite crazy. He team up, he allows Seara to do her default attack, gain attack bar by critting, and now everyone is moving because Loren are usually on Swift or very fast violent as well. So that allowed you to sort of cut away the gap between speed of Seara and the Loren. Because usually when you build Seara Loren, the Seara is kind of slow. That is the weakness that I see in most Seara defense. The stripper being Loren or Gianna, they are very good, but the speed tuning between Seara and them is a huge weakness that you can exploit. You let them strip, you know, whatever, and then you buff immunity by moving in between. Usually, if you have something that goes in the range of 270 to 290 speed, you can outspeed a Seara quite comfortably without the need for speed lead. For these options after the first few options over here, they are more of siege related unit. We have Shina Matina, pretty much every Nat 4 tower in siege because they are so good. If they have very good violent runes and they take turn 1, nothing can survive a well-runed Shina Matina comp. And usually pair with Triana to make sure that they survive, or Madame to make sure that they survive. You have Lucas, which fit into the Galleon Clara Lucas. Why Lucas? Because he can go crazy with damage. He's a light unit, so you have to have a dark tank. If you don't have a dark tank, then the damage will be random. You cannot control it. That's why Theomas was so popular, or that's why Theomas has always been popular because of the uncontrollable fact that you don't know who is gonna hit. If you want to build a Galleon Clara +1 defense, use something that is unpredictable that can do damage. Yin is one of them because she can proc so much violence, or she cannot proc at all. But the fact that there's a probability out there that she can go 5 turns in a row pretty easily, it's crazy to pair with Galleon. And you build either a fast Swift Clara or Despair Clara will be fine too. So it doesn't have to be Lucas, but Lucas is kind of the flavor of the past couple months. I see him a lot, or Yin or Dark Rakshasha, pretty much LD, Nat 4 that can do damage for siege, very popular option. Asia used to be super popular with Skogo and Garo, but kind of decreasing in popularity, but still very good. I see a lot of Asia, Skogo, Perna out there in like G2 Asia guild. Very well runed. Very well runed Asia, Perna, Skogo. So tanky team, a lot of turn cycling with Asia and healing with Perna. Not bad. It's quite decent. Mina is rising in popularity because of her low rune requirement and just so much damage being put out. So if you need a damage dealer for your Nat 4 tower, Mina can be a very good choice. If you bring in a fire tank and she proc a violent on your fire tank, that fire tank might not survive. Garo is also falling off the meta. Still okay with the Orion comp, but you can tank Garo with a wind tank pretty easily, and there are many ways to kill a Garo. You see some Elsharion out there as well, because let's say you're using Seara and Bastet, you don't have a Daphnis, you can try to use an Elsharion. So Elsharion maybe moving last to give the entire team wheel runes, or he might be moving after Bastet to strip so that Seara can bomb something. And you can't predict who Elshan is gonna strip if you don't bring a dark unit. So these 4 speed leader combined with these turn 1 enabler. Yeah, turn 1 enabler sounds kind of better. And then you add a damage dealer in. So mix and match of your choice, because once again, you don't have a lot of option. I don't have a good Gilwa defense team for the longest time. Okay? For the longest time. Because I don't have meta unit. But one of the defense that I've been using that gain a lot of success is Commune, Loren, and Triana. It's more like a bruiser defense, but I'm using high speed, damage Commune, and damage Triana. So even though it seems kind of easy to be dealt with, I still get a lot of win in G2 and G3. Now, let's talk about the bruisers. Mo Long still one of the most popular bruiser out there for defense. First, HP lead. Second, potentially stun and strip everybody. Not high though, but there's that chance for it to happen. And just big boy damage, you can't avoid. You can counter Mo Long easily with Harmonia, or you can use Mo Long with Harmonia on pretty much, you see that very often on defense. So Mo Long do the thing, Harmonia speeds into Mo Long to heal Mo Long back and also lower another unit HP. So after the start of the battle, you have 2 units at low HP immediately. And the last unit you see is Taranys. So once again, with the triple element law, you have water, fire, and wind. In the past, it used to be Mo Long, Perna, and Eladriel. But Perna is now decreasing in popularity in that comp because Perna are usually slow, and there are many counters to Perna with Oblivion or cooltime reset. That's why Perna is not that strong anymore. And Taranys, once again, make Eladriel look like a nat 3. This guy heal and revive. This guy revive, defense buff, which allow your team to take much more hit, and that defense buff allow him to do insane damage with Mo Long defense break, and he can stun. So comparing to Eladriel, who like only revive and a little bit of healing, this guy brings like 10 times more utility. It's kind of insane. So that's why the current meta is still Mo Long, Taranys plus a fire unit. You still see Perna, you are seeing more Harmonia, and you can see things like Rakan, Belenus, and Kumar as well. Comtours really should change Beast Monk leader skill to Guild Battle because nobody used these units in Dungeon. So their leader skill is kind of wasted, and even if they have the leader skill in Guild Battle, they're not that strong, like they are okay as bruisers. It's hard to discuss bruiser alone because they goes well with the protect team down here, the protect squad, and Jean and Harmonia and Triana are so important for the bruiser team. Skogo you see more in Siege, but you also see Skogo in normal defense together with, what's her name? The Wind John. Her name is Louise. You see a lot of Louise because of her leader skill and her thick shield. So Louise, John, and Skogo are very popular. It sounds like a very easy comp because there's no defense break. They're just very thick in HP, but it works amazingly in Asia. So for Guild Battle and Guild Siege defense, this is popular. But Skogo is still popular with the Commune Orion option or the Commune Beta option. Still relevant, especially in low rank where you don't have a lot of options to deal with a well-known Commune. Can be very dangerous. Super dangerous. Rakan used to be very popular. Now it's like here and there you see Rakan because of the strip. It's kind of okay because you force that unit to be provoked now. You can strip the immunity away for the provoke. So he's not that bad. But I don't like Vampire Rakan that much anymore. It doesn't give enough threat. The Violent build to me is much better. It's just more unpredictable, and that's where you want your Guild Battle defense to be, is unpredictability. Vigor. From G3 Global Player Report, this guy is gaining popularity, taking the spot of Bastet or Orion or Theomas. He can defense break, he can heal, anti-crit speed buff is very good. Overall good bruiser unit, taking away the spot of Chandra as well, Asia. So he's gaining popularity, but will he stay? That will be the test of time. But for now, I'm not too sure. So I see like Commune, Vigor, Odin. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. You have Artemiel being forever toxic and paired with Darien. You only see Darien if you see Artemiel. You never see Darien outside of that. But Artemiel, Darien plus a light unit is super popular because you have to deal with Artemiel. And with Darien, it's hard to kill anything in that team. And you can see Celia, you can see Jean, you can see Huadam, you can see Tianlang, you can see so many different light unit. Iris to pair with the Artemiel Darien team. So in that team, usually I don't have a problem with that team. You just use Rika and a cooltime reset and just burn them alive slowly. If you don't have a direct counter to this team, it's gonna be hard to kill them. And with RNG, Artamiel is gonna strip stun your entire team. You know that. You have Iris, very popular to go with Seara. That's where you see Iris the most. Other than that, you don't really see Iris. So I put her into Bruiser because she's not usually on Swift. So she's not like a turn 1 enabler kind of unit. Raok is more of a turn 1 enabler than Iris. And she's usually built on speed, HP, accuracy, or like speed, good damage, HP. At the most, usually tanky. That's why to me she's a bruiser. She can heal as well. So Seara, Iris, and Rogue, you might see a Swift Rogue, allowing your Iris and Seara to move turn 1, and they don't have to be very fast. So allowing Iris to move, strip, Seara get the turn with critting, and Seara bomb, Iris move again to maybe silence and strip again. So that's very common. I see that a lot, and they are quite strong. You have Rahul to be used in the bruiser comp. Usually you see him with Jean, you see him with Nephthys, but you definitely see him with a strong AoE CC follow-up. So Jean is a very good option. So Jean, Rahul, and a damage dealer is pretty much staple. So with Chandra, you have more protect. With Rahul, you'll be more aggressive. Hurted is here and there because not a lot of people have him. Not a lot of people actually know how to use him properly. But you definitely see him in the spot of Odin instead of Odin. So Kamoon, Bastet, Hurted, he get a turn with 5 stack, he steals somebody's stat, become insanely tanky with shield, unkillable, and do so much damage, usually on VallieBear as well. Other than that, don't see Hurted that much, but if you have a Hurted, you definitely want to pair with your Bastet or Kamoon, or at least a Fran with Kamoon. So Fran is like a cheap Bastet. Panda used to be popular, you can one-shot him, but people build him as a bait with a lot of HP. But I don't think Panda is good. You see him in like the last tower of siege, like the very last option. People don't want to use him, but it's still a decent option. You can tank Panda with many wind tank out here. Actually, the more I talk about Panda, the more I want to just take him out of the way. Like, I'd rather put this thing in next to Artamiel, or like maybe down here, because when you see Ara, you might see this Nat 7 of a light unit as well. These are the bruiser option. They are not here to finish the guild battle fast. They are here to wear you down slowly and maybe just outproc you, which is what every defense is designed to do. Now we are going down to the last option, the protect option. You see immunity buffer, you see healer, you see shield, you see anti-death mechanic. So one of the most popular defense will be Jean, Theo, and Harmonia. I've been using that for my main defense for like a couple months now. And every week I still see a decent amount, I would say 50% win rate or 40% win rate in like G2, G3. I think that's pretty good. Louise is gaining popularity comparing to Wusa because of her HP leader. So they're kind of the same. Wusa immunity is more consistent, but they're kind of the same. They can buff and shield, and they can buff shield immunity with skill 3. Louise skill 1 is definitely more consistent than Wusa's skill 1, and a skill 2 that cleanse can be quite challenging to deal with. So she's actually, I'm gonna put her like here. She's definitely gaining more popularity than Wusa. If you have her and you can max her skill, you definitely want to use her due to her HP lead compared to Wusa. Ophelia is also gaining popularity, especially in Siege. A good amount of shield coupled with her defense leader skill will make any defensive unit really strong. She's gaining popularity. The most basic will be Ophelia, Theo Mars plus a wind unit. I would say a Reviver or another Bruiser. Tyrannus will be perfect, but you don't need to have Tyrannus. You can have like Savannah for the strip and the AoE defense break. So Ophelia is definitely getting popularity. Good leader skill, good skill overall. A good buff will make her very top tier for guild battle. The good old Hwadam that has been the same for the longest time, still super relevant in Siege together with Shina Martina. Faye, but Faye is really RNG, so I don't want to put her here. She's not that popular anymore, but you will only see this with like Shina Martina and high rank, and they are forever annoying. And unlike the Hwadam of the past, which is pure HP and just sit there and do nothing, Hwadam of the current day will be a bit faster, can stun you with the spare rune, and do debuff with the default attack. Very annoying unit. Fran, you see it not often. Most of the time you see Fran together with Kamoon and Odin if the person doesn't have Bastet. It's actually kind of annoying to deal with Fran compared to Bastet. If Bastet go turn 1, you tank the Odin, that's pretty much over. It's a bad defense if you know how to deal with it. But with Fran, you can't really do that. You have to work through the immunity to kill him. So a good Violent Fran will make the Commune Fran Odin much harder to deal with. Orion. Oh wait. Rakuni. You see this only in Siege with Skogo. You speed tune the Rakuni to move after Skogo to drop the rock. Still quite annoying. Still popular. We have Praha here. We also have Juno, but I don't see Juno at all on my day-to-day. People see Juno in global, but I'm not too sure about Juno. But Praha I do see a little bit. Usually Copper Trap with high defense, and she cannot provide more utility with her healing and sleep at the same time. So not that bad. Not that bad. Can strip your immunity that you're trying to bring in. So overall might be an annoying support to deal with in a bruiser comp. Jasun, I think you go down. Overall, these are the options that people use these days for Guild War and Guild Siege defense. There are definitely some fireball options. I do recommend Jean, Harmonia, Theo, and Commune, Lauren, Triana for those who are on a very tight budget. But you can definitely run some of the different things in here with the speed lead department and the damage department. Usually you have one high threat defense with your good swift rune, your good damage rune, and one bruiser defense that you have all the focus for the HP rune in there. Every single Guild War defense team is pretty much beatable. So there are no, I would say, unbeatable team, but these are popular and they work well regardless of your rank. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Let me know your Guild War defense and Siege down below. Maybe we can learn something from each other. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more discussion video, let me know down below as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.